for 5 on the most confident picks last week. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Come on, folks. We talked about Merab smash, and Merab did smash, hit a beautiful choke. We talked about Kayla Harrison smash. Kayla Harrison did smash, also called Kayla Harrison submission plus 175. Shout out Premium Channel. And got her in a parlay as well. Joe Pyfer smash. Yeah, he kept it, a little patient and cautious in the last 2 rounds. Azmat Mirzakhanov smash. Azmat Mirzakhanov with a wicked finish. Very, very talented Azmat Mirzakhanov. And Killian Salkilled getting it done over Yanal Ashmuz, showing some nice wrinkles to his game. His wrestling looked good. You could hear Joe Rogan heaping praise on him that these young fighters can do everything. It's true. You could see some well-rounded skills there from Killian Salkilled getting past Yanal Ashmuz. 5 for 5. That's what the fuck we do here. All right. You guys want to hear this week's shot at 5 for 5? Let's go. Here are my 5 most confident picks for UFC Fight Night, Buckley versus Kamaru Usman. Let's kick it off with Joaquin Buckley. Kamaru Usman has been out for a year. He has injuries that are really, really long-term to his knees. He is now 38 years old. Joaquin Buckley is in his prime right now, approaching his prime even. It seems that his best fights are in front of him. He already had to fight 2 big-time veterans in Colby Covington and Wonderboy. I think Joaquin Buckley gets it done. Joaquin Buckley. Thug Rose Namajunas over Miranda Maverick. I think the kickboxing will be too much. I think Thug Rose is going to be able to get this thing by decision. Rodolfo Bellato over Paul Craig via kickboxing. Mansur Abdul-Malik over Cody Brundage, because I don't see a whole lot Cody Brundage can do than just survive and hope Mansur gets tired at the end. And then Ricky Simone over the short notice Camera Smotherman. One more time for my people in the back. I'm going in with my 5 most confident. Ricky Simone. I'm going to go with Mansur Abdul-Malik. I'm going with Rodolfo Bellato. Give me Thug Rose Namajunas. And then give me, in the main event, Joaquin Buckley over Kamaru Usman. I'm going that for my 5 most confident. Let's see if we can make it 10 straight. All right, let's start at the top. Joaquin Buckley is extremely explosive. Joaquin Buckley has this ability to uncork shots from that knees bent, sort of, it looks like a cat that's about to jump on something, right? It's just, it's spring loaded, and he's able to get people out of there. He's a finisher. I do see him getting the finish here over Kamaru Usman. The speed difference, the explosiveness difference, the athleticism difference, the hunger. This is a hungry guy, man. I feel like Kamaru is going to have a long night at the office here. Usman needs to be technical and put it all together and use the wrestling. I think Colby Covington was the perfect opponent for, Joaquin Buckley before a Kamaru Usman fight. It's just a great way to get warmed up for him, gets his confidence up there. He's seen, the fights that Kamaru and Colby have had. He can sort of, gauge Kamaru a little better by fighting Colby. I think it really increased his confidence. Not that he lacked any confidence, let's be honest, but gave him some verifiable data here. Hey, man, you can finish Kamaru Usman. And then the mind of Wonderboy Thompson, as I mentioned, right? Like, Wonderboy and Colby are these veterans who've been there, who fought for titles, who, have a deep repertoire and understanding of like MMA wrestling for Colby, right? And technically sound kickboxing for Wonderboy, both of which were overwhelmed by, this real special talent in Joaquin Buckley. I do think that he could kick the doors down here on Kamaru Usman and get him out of there, guys. I'm going TKO for Joaquin Buckley. Co-main event, Thug Rose Namajunas. I think Thug Rose is a problem for Miranda Maverick because Miranda Maverick's not going to be able to kickbox with her. Now, Miranda Maverick's going to try to take her down, and Aaron Blanchfield, sort of showed us the best version of that game plan. I think Miranda Maverick is going to get the clinches broken, get stuck out there a little bit too much kickboxing with Rose Namajunas when she fails 1 or 2 takedown attempts. I think, she'll start missing some shots and getting countered. Thug Rose staying ahead of her, potentially looking for a finish. But let's just say Thug Rose gets this thing on the scorecards. I saw her training. She looks in great shape. She looks slick. I do think that she wants bigger fights for herself in the division. Something I was talking to AJ DeVito about. It's like, he said, like, I think she fights for a title again. Yeah, I think that's where her head's at, right? Her head's at, like, we can make some big fights happen. They might want to see me and Wei Lee again, after the head kick knockout. There are fights for her in the UFC in general. So I do think that her getting past Miranda Maverick is a must for those things, and that she's taking it very seriously. Let's go with Thug Rose Namajunas. Rodolfo Bellato over Paul Craig. Paul Craig is good at jiu-jitsu. Not much else. It's been an issue. He's tough. He has a very mean face. The face paint and the crazy stare downs. You're looking at Paul Craig, you're looking into a demon. However, the kickboxing is a major issue with Rodolfo Bellato, who's got power, who's got heavy kicks, heavy shots, who can mix it up. I think Rodolfo Bellato out kickboxes him all night. I think when he drops him, though, he doesn't want to necessarily follow up. So I do think this thing goes long, but Rodolfo Bellato getting this thing done pretty dominantly using his kickboxing. Cool fight. Hopefully Paul Craig could bounce back, but I don't think so. Rodolfo Bellato decision. Mansur Abdul-Malik over Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage got in a fucking war with Julian Marquez. Like, bro, this is not good. This is not what we want to see at this level. You're going to fight in that Mansur Abdul-Malik. You better not be like 50-50, 60-40 with Julian Marquez your fight before. It's just Cody Brundage is good at wrestling, not great, is okay at boxing, not good, and also makes major mistakes. And I don't think you could do that against a prospect like Mansur Abdul-Malik. I think they're looking for Mansur to get a big dub here, and it makes sense. So I got to go Mansur Abdul-Malik. Last but not least, the great and powerful Ricky Simón, who I'll just tell you straight up. I placed a sizable bet on Ricky Simón over Charles Jourdain. Got returned to my account. Got returned to my fucking account. Because Charles Jourdain pulled out. Now in steps a very young prospect in Cameron Smotherman. Cameron Smotherman, we saw him struggle with the striking in the last fight. Again, just a young kid, just no real experience. I could see him, him wanting to have this good reputation in the UFC. Hey, I'll jump at a fight. I'll accept a fight on short notice. I'm a company guy. Keep me around. I get it. But it's Ricky Simón. I think that wrestling's a huge problem. I think the pace he sets is a huge problem. I think Ricky Simón's able to overwhelm him. We don't have any odds for this fight, which is interesting. Maybe they just dropped him as I said that. But I think Ricky Simón, dominant. All right. You guys got it? Those are my 5 most confident picks for UFC Fight Night. Buckley versus Usman. If you want to hear my full card predictions, hang out. I do them after weigh-ins. Generally, something happens. Somebody pulls out. Some new fight's made. Somebody misses weight. It could fuck with the picks. Please check that out. That's going to be on Friday after weigh-ins. But there was a card on Saturday that I have not touched on, and I would like to. That card was UFC 316, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. Very badass performance by Merab. Had him all the way, I thought he would be able to get the takedowns, and I was saying, he wants to finish the fight, right? He goes and gets a choke. His beautiful performance. I mean, as good as it gets from Merab, he really was able to run through and dominate Sean O'Malley. You saw how in the beginning of the fight, he was evasive, right? He moved side to side, but he wanted really to lay on the gas pedal in this fight. He was saying it post fight. I think I might have wrote down his quote here. Probably butchered it, but roughly. He said the difference was this time I wasn't just trying to win. I just wanted to be champion. I didn't care how. Now I could take more risk. Right? He like before fighting Sean, it was a bit more boring because on the feet, he was really circling in the green zone way far away from Sugar Sean. And Sean's like trying to make something happen, whipping some front kicks at the body. This time around, you saw Merab put pressure on him, put those hands high, get up in his fucking face, hit these shots, pick him up, and then strangle him. It was badass. Merab's the Tasmanian devil. It's really cool to see somebody who's such a good person win. Merab is this hardworking, honest, nose to the grindstone, started from the bottom, now we're here type guy. It is really cool to see the hardest worker in the room, get what he deserves. And he deserves that UFC bantamweight title. It was a very impressive performance. A not as impressive performance was Patchy Mick's UFC debut. I thought it would be interesting to read you guys this quote from Merab at the press conference talking about Patchy's performance, which he must have just watched in the back. Merab Dvalishvili, the champ. Patchy Mick is a great fighter. I train with him, and he's the toughest sparring partner for sure. His jiu-jitsu and grappling is another level. When he takes your back, he can wait, sit there, make a phone call with family. He's really good. He has a really good guillotine choke. That's Merab after the fight. I've told you guys about Patchy telling me about training with Merab, right? That's from Merab's point of view. He's the best, right? He can make a phone call on your back. It doesn't matter how good your grappling is if you don't grapple. Patchy Mick. If you would have told me that Patchy Mick wouldn't shoot until the third round and it would only be one takedown attempt, I mean, Patchy all week, he was talking about the submission grappling. He said, was it UFC embedded? He's like, I'll submit Mario. I'll submit his jiu-jitsu coach. I'll submit the whole team. We can't do that at kickboxing range with a solid kickboxer. I mean, all week I said, I give the kickboxing edge to Mario Batista. I didn't expect Patchy to be that rusty. I think that being out for a year was an issue. I think that the UFC jitters was an issue. He didn't show the ability to bend his knees and move his head that we've seen against, Stotts or Magomedov or Sergio Pettis or, he didn't have, it was a bad night in the office. There's no question about that. But the thing that blows my mind is just the lack of imposing your grappling and the lack of urgency the corner had to get him to impose his grappling. He's got great people around him. These people love him. Literally his, fiance. I don't know. What is that? Fiance, right? Tatiana Suarez was in his corner. I think she did tell him to shoot. But and his coaches love him and they're great. Guys, we got to get Patchy Mick to get a hold of Mario Batista. I mean, we just got to say it like it is. He got out kickboxed bad. One judge actually gave him a round. I think it must have been the third. One judge had it 29-28. But a unanimous, as to where if Patchy Mick starts shooting. Merab shoots 30 times in a fight. Can we get 5 shots? I'd really want like 10. I want like 10 shots from Patchy. I got 1 in the third round. So that's how I feel about that fight. Sucks to see my friend lose. All love to Patchy Mick. And new Kayla Harrison. Very, very, impressive. Kimura. Just look at how shocked Joey Diaz was. Nobody's higher than Joey Diaz at a UFC fight. Nobody. Dog, I took the 500 milligram edible.
I was over there. I couldn't believe Merab getting the choke on Sugar Sean.
You know? He's having a great night. Joe Pyfer getting it done against Kelvin Gastelum. You know, a little bit of hate on the Joe Pyfer performance. I think he won round one so dominantly, nearly getting the fight finished twice, major knockdowns, that he just laid off the gas pedal, you know, decided to take it to a decision. It was a strategic move, you know. You start getting defensive when you're up. You know, the Patriots are up in the Super Bowl, right? Fucking they punt the ball. They're going to go on defense. You're going to put out like the corners are going to be further back. You're going to run like a prevent defense in the quarter. You're not just going to fucking blitz each play. You know, you don't want to give up a touchdown. So you're going to chill. And this is what Joe Pyfer did. He got up, had a big round, almost like a 10-8 round. And then round two, he's like, all right, I'm just going to be real patient. I'm a foot taller than this dude. You know, I'm going to stay out here and just snipe him. So not the greatest performance from Joe Pyfer, but also a solid performance from Joe Pyfer. Like he was able to put big crosses onto Kelvin Gastelum's head, and Kelvin Gastelum's just got a brick for a head. I mean, there's no two ways about that. So, cool. All right. What say you, chat? What's up? What up, motherfuckers? Yo, Finch, yo, Pepino. You're picking black, Drew Dober. Who's blacker, Joaquin Buckley or Kamaru Usman? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. The old dude is cooked, you know? I mean, is there a path for Kamaru Usman? He would have to get the wrestling going, right? You don't really see him like sitting out there and kickboxing with Buckley clean. You know, I think Buckley's exploding in and hurting this dude. But he has boxed a lot of people and won at a high level. He'll be out there, elbows in, hands up, a fast jab he's got, you know. Kamaru's got game. And if he wrestles hard, that would be interesting. If he gets to the top position. Joaquin Buckley's got it. I heard Michael Venom Page is facing Jared Cannonier at UFC 319. Oh. Damn. Against Cannonier, who's what, 41? That's interesting. Do I win? Sure, Drew Dober. 5 out of 5 once again. Great picks, Finch. Thank you, Stormy Normie. I appreciate that. Finch in the AirPods while driving. Let's go, bro. Send me some. My AirPods stopped working. Apple. What the fuck, Apple? First of all, I dropped my phone. This shit shattered. Dude, look at this shit. Fucking dropped my phone. Look at that shit. Oh, man. That shit shattered. And then my AirPods stopped working. Apple. Can we get some, you know, who works for Apple who can hook your boy up? Okay. I want some nice earbuds. Nice ones. I fly a lot, you know. Come on. Why didn't Wellmaker make the top 5? Young, inexperienced, not trustworthy enough yet. You know, Chris Moitinho, not good, but I like the activity post UFC, you know. I think the odds are a little fucking ridiculous on that one, huh? Can you imagine the feedback I'd get from that every fucking time? Somebody, Finch picked a minus 700. Bro, it's called most confident picks, okay? Has nothing to do with odds. I'm not looking at the odds. This is not financial advice. This is just me picking fights. You want to see who I'm betting on? DM at mikefinchshow on Instagram. We'll get you in. Those are my most confident bets. That's who I'm actually betting on. And I'll tell you what, I placed the bets early this week. I placed the bets early. I placed most of them yesterday. And one of them was Ricky Simone over Charles Jourdain, and I got my money back. I was looking at my account. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, yeah. I think Ange Lusa is being slept on. He's powerful, dude. Ange Lusa is powerful, but he's the favorite. How is he being slept on? You know? I think I might fade him. Hope Rose comes back with a W. Me too, man. Who doesn't love Thug Rose? Let's go. All right. I think Moitinho is the greatest fighter ever at blocking punches with his face. Michael, how dare you? Chris Moitinho Yeah. Sean O'Malley made him look like a punching bag. He was just just practicing, bro. But the kid's young. He's tough as fuck. He can get better. He's been active, you know. Yeah, he loses probably, but minus 1,300. You're gonna give me on this kid? Come on, man. Crazy. Let's get it. AW. First fight, Merab had a staph infection and still beat Sugar. Well, Sugar was hurt, so they're both in there fucked up. I think Patchy Mix froze up fighting in front of the president. Maybe he's a huge Trump fan. Donald was so excited to see Patchy Mix, and he froze under the lights. Not everybody can be a winner like me. Yeah, Patchy Mix didn't look like himself. MMA didn't look like himself. UFC debut in front of Donald Trump would be next level jitters. I hear you. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Everybody comes up to him and says, what's up? It's fucking crazy. It's awesome. I was watching MMA back when, John McCain was calling it human cockfighting, when I was a kid, when it was like illegal in most states. Okay. My first fight, no blood test, no drug test, no physical. Okay. Showed up, got in a cage, fought. My first fight. Okay. Nowadays, it's a real fucking sport. The president of the United States is at the show. It's fucking awesome. Trump used to be at the shows back in the day too, but the thought, right, of Bill Clinton or fucking who was president when the UFC came out? I don't know. Was it Bill? Was it Bush? Thought of Bush being at a UFC event? Yeah, that was not in the cards. Pretty cool. Didn't Patchy call Batista a journeyman and he's looking through him? Yikes. Look, man, Patchy is world class at some things. Okay. The fight did not take place in those areas. And yeah, he looked like he'd been out for a year and it was his UFC debut. It was a really, it was a bottom performance for Patchy. Albeit one of the judges gave him the last round, showed some toughness, got the UFC debut out of the way. I think you guys will see that Patchy's got game. One of the few guys who said Batista by decision and most thought I was crazy. Nice show, Joe. Patchy was stiff like a 58-year-old. Like he was stuck in a mud almost. Stiff as a board, yeah. Finch, please help me feed my family chicken tenders. I need the ultimate 3-man lock of locks. Help feed my fam Finch parlay. Mochilla, I am Mokia. I am not in a position to be the one to feed your family. You know who needs to feed your family? Okay? Get hunting. But my 3 most confident of the most confident, I'm going to go Rodolfo Bellato, Mansur, Abdul-Malik, and Ricky Simone. Although Buckley was kind of calling my name. I think I'll go with those 3. Rodolfo Bellato, Mansur, Abdul-Malik, and Ricky Simone. All right? Those are my 3 most confident of my 5 most confident. Oh, shit. MMA Maj already posted that. Simone, Bellato, and Mansur. There you go. I agree with MMA Maj. Usman's knees are notoriously you can literally watch his one knee grow. I could watch his knee grow? What the fuck are you talking about? Got me. Motherfucker. Got me. God damn it. Drew Dober, you got me. Finch needs the Apple sponsorship, please. Patchy bald. How dare you? He's a fan of ice. Patchy's a fan of ice. Is that real? That'd be crazy. Oumar Sy is a fucking beast, huh? Usman can knock Buckley the fuck out. This ain't Colby this time. Shoujo. That's wild. Usman via knockout? That's wild take. Is O'Malley's coach worse than Rousey's coach? No. Jesus, no. I would say head movement. Head movement. That is legendary. Poster child, bad coach. Her boxing coach got her gassed up. He was talking about her being able to box like as a professional boxer. Box. No, Ronda Rousey is world class at judo. Her armbar, male or female, might be the best we've ever seen in the sport. It is unbelievably high level. The way she would charge at these women and get the fight over with. Kat Zingano's still good in the game. I mean, there's some women she beat, Misha Tate. There's some women she beat that are really high level. It's not that she fought all soccer moms. I hear that one. She fought all yoga instructors. Like, nah, man. There was some of that, but no, Ronda Rousey is special, but her boxing, she knocked out Betch Kohea. She put her out on the Straight Outta Compton sign logo. That was pretty cool. But overall, no, Ronda Rousey striking. You gotta go against them. Okay. All right. I've been yapping enough, folks. Oh, Diego Sanchez's coach, even worse. I don't know. Worst coach. Worst coach, bro. There was a BJ Penn fight I watched where the corner just kept going, do it for Hawaii, BJ, do it for Hawaii. Like, guys, he wants to do it for Hawaii. Does he need to jab? Does he need to hit a single leg instead of shooting the double? Maybe he needs to cut this guy off. How is he supposed to do it for Hawaii? That's what the corner's supposed to do. They're just hyping him up. Like, dude, you get anybody to do that. I can get a fucking musician to just be hype man right there. Go. Right? That's not what we need. Right? I feel like the worst coach still has to be Ronda Rousey's coach. That was pretty bad. All right. And it's all love to Ronda Rousey. Those are my 5 most confident picks. If you guys want to see who I'm betting on, I'm going to record those right now. I've already placed my bets. I like an over a lot on this card. It was my biggest bet that I placed. And I'm excited about that one. I'll be breaking those down next. You guys can see them on premium channel. Just direct message at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. We'll get you in there. You're always welcome to message me at Mike Finch MMA. If you're looking for like a long parlay, I did do one for this. It's like a 7-legger, right? I can give you guys my 7-legger if you want. I've also think I've got a 10 out there as well. So a 10 or a 7, you guys are welcome to DM me for those. Just join premium channel. I hope to see you guys over there. I always drop one in the free channel. I'll throw that link up as well. All right. I'm gassed up after a badass pay-per-view. Merab's got me fired up. It's good to see good people get good things. And I do think Kayla Harrison's the same story. I'm super excited to see how good Joaquin Buckley is and to see some of these prospects on this card. It's going to be a fun one. I'll see you guys on Friday for the weigh-in show, post weigh-ins, where I'll do my full card breakdown all the way from the bottom to the top. Until then, it's peace and love.